Thanks very much, Angus. Okay, so Ben, Head of Solutions. I want to talk to you about inbound marketing. And really, I guess I was a bit of a skeptic when I first heard about inbound marketing. Who's heard of it before? Who knows a bit about it? Anybody? No? Heard of SEO? Yeah. Social media? Yeah. Okay. Basically, when I first heard about inbound marketing, I thought, oh yeah, just another term to talk about the same old stuff, and just let it kind of pass me by for quite a while. And recently I went to MozCon, which is the convention for lots of search engine optimization people from all over the world, and it kind of got blown away really. That was the end of July, and I'm going to take you through some of the stuff that I saw and learned and what I've put together in the meantime. And there's a couple of people that work with me here, and we've absolutely kind of, you know, just run with this, and it's awesome, and I hope I can get that across. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to split this into 4 bits. First of all, what is inbound marketing and how is it relevant for web designers? I didn't actually see when Leon said, who's experienced? Who's experienced? A few. Who's brand new to web design? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, basically, the awesome thing about this is that even the new people, you're able to learn this just as quickly as, you know, us old geezers really, because at the end of the day, this stuff is moving really fast and really interesting. And some of the stuff that Leon said actually joined some dots for me, so I might mention that a bit later on. So how's it relevant for you guys? Well, it's kind of the end-to-end life cycle, really, of you know, what we're doing for clients. You know, I'm out there trying to market for people and help them make money online, but really, it's about this whole process, this cycle of attracting clients, converting visitors into leads to sales, making more money from existing customers and so on, and then improving everything you've got. You know, I mean, what's the point of just building a website and leaving it when you can tweak it and improve it and so on? So, yeah, good old definition, but it's a good one. But these 3, nice how the screen resolution ruins the positioning. Those 3 in the middle, they're web design. Like for me, a great web designer is a web designer who can build something that takes a visitor and turns them into a lead, and educates that person who's been on my website and read about my stuff, so that when I'm talking to them about what I've got to offer, they think, yeah, he's telling the same story, and you know, it was really well laid out, so I understand what he's talking about, and well, I'm going to buy from him. So it's the idea of, well, basically the awareness ladder, or you know, getting converted. So we'll look at that in a bit, but really that's web design. That's about educating your visitors into the understanding that you've got something of value. Attracting people, this is where we get the social media and the search engine optimization, and real world, like I put that there, like we're the few web designers here in Brisbane who have got off our bums and actually, you know, done something real. So the real world is important as well, and not to be forgotten really. And the last one, I'm not going to talk about this much tonight, but CRO, conversion rate optimization. So taking what you've already built and improving it. Not going to get into that, but there's a mention of where you can get some more information later on. So these things together, CRO aside, web design, bread and butter for you guys. SEO, social, real world. Well, SEO and social, there's actually a lot of mileage in what you can do for the websites you work on, and I'll show you that, and I've got some real kind of practical takeaway tips for what you can do. But because it covers web design, attracting, thinking about customers, marketing, like it really is marketing, it is multidisciplinary. You have to think about all of these different areas when you're considering the overall approach. What are you trying to achieve? And you can't do that when you're just one guy. You know, you just can't. I know I've tried. No, it just doesn't work, right? You need to have a bunch of people who know their specializations, and actually things move pretty fast. So you need to have Somebody looking at the website, somebody looking at the exposure you're getting in social media, somebody else building links, somebody else reaching out and building relationships and so on. And social interaction means it takes time. You know, you can't quick have a look, oh yeah, he's asking me this, reply, and you've just said the wrong thing. You've got to actually put some time and effort into this stuff. So you need to think about it, you need to plan what you're up to, and we'll get to that in a minute as well. And because you're basically having conversations, you're out there, particularly in social media, you're having conversations with the real world, well, the virtual world, but you know, there are real people at the end of those computers. You have to be flexible. So, nick the word from software development, agile. So, part 2. What are you doing? What do you do? Does anybody do anything that they might consider inbound marketing? I mean, now that I've just told you the whole end-to-end picture, are you running websites for clients? Are you running websites for yourself? Anyone? Yeah. A few nods. Okay. So I'm just going to go back. I'm going to have a look at something. Now we're going from really high res to some really bad low res stuff, right? So just bear with me. It's more about the audio.
Okay, guys. These eggs have given us a lot of trouble in the past. Does anybody need anything off this guy, or can we bypass him?
I think Leroy needs something from this guy.
Oh, he needs those devout shoulders? Isn't he a paladin?
Yeah, but that'll help him heal better. He'll have more mana.
Christ. Okay, well, what we'll do, I'll run in first, gather up all the eggs so we can kind of just, blast them all down with AoE. I will use Intimidating Shout to kind of scatter them so we don't have to fight a whole bunch of them at once. When my shout's done, I'll need Anthony to come in and drop his shout too, so we can keep them scattered and not to fight too many. When his is done, Bass, of course, will need to run in and do the same thing. We're going to need Divine Intervention on our mages, so they can AE, so we can, of course, get them down fast, because we're bringing all these guys. I mean, we'll be in trouble if we don't take them down quick. I think it's a pretty good plan, and we should be able to pull it off this time. What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
Alright, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
Oh my god, he just ran in. Save him!
Oh, gee, stick to the plan.
Oh, Jesus. Let's go.
Stick to the plan, chums.
Stick to the plan.
Oh, gee. Oh, fuck.
Give me Divine Intervention.
Hurry up.
Shout.
He's saying I can't cast. I can't move. Am I lagging, guys?
I can't move. What the hell? I can't AE. Oh my god.
The eggs keep spawning. More respawning.
I don't think you can cast with that shit. Oh my god.
We got him.
Take it off. I got it. Take it off.
Come on, stay down.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Leroy.
God damn it.
Leroy, you moron. Leroy.
Geomove.
This is ridiculous.
I'm on it. So mass. I'm down. Forking down. God damn it. I got killed before I could
we
remove
died
him.
on this. God. Oh,
See,
Spiffy res us.
Why do you do this shit, Leroy?
I'm trying.
It's not my fault.
Who's soul stoned?
We do have a soul stone up, don't we?
Anthony, do you got soul stones?
Warlock.
Oh god.
Oh, for...
Great job,
For Christ's sake. Leroy, you were just stupid as hell.
Over
At least I have chicken.
So, yeah, they're all dead. And I guess the point really is, what are we going to learn from Leroy? Yeah, he wasn't sticking to the plan, really. And there's a couple of things here. I mean, although the image is absolutely dreadful, really the main thing about this is that you've got to organise yourself. There's so much to do in inbound marketing. You've got the website, you've got the link building, you've got the social media, you've got to expose yourself. And if you do it wrong, you really are exposing yourself and, you know, maybe a client. You've got to be organised. So you've got to make sure that you don't have Leroy Jenkins on your team. You've got to make sure that everybody's with the program and listening. What I really like about this video, I don't know if you notice it, but really it's like a scrum. At the very start, they're talking, yeah, here's a plan, we're just going to have a quick plan, talk about what we're going to do, and we do this every day at work. Every morning, yeah, let's just work out what we're going to do for the day, anything holding me back, no, let's go. But you've got to listen. You've got to listen to each other. Oh, what's going on there? Lauren, do you know what that is? It's a bit of a drama. Can you hear me anyway? Yeah. Oh well. Okay, so you've got to be organised. So here we go. We've got the chase that car kind of dog. You don't want to do that. You've got to have a plan. You've got to set a goal and a strategy and your tactics, the little nitty-gritty things that you love to do. You know, I'm going to set up the Photoshop in this size, and I'm going to, use this type of CSS and this type of stuff. You've got to decide that stuff at the end. What is the overall objective? What are we trying to achieve? You've got to do that first. And really, you've got to think to yourself, do you think strategically? I mean, you've really got to catch the dot. You've got to think about, do I think about strategy? And I've met people that are really at all scales, like what on earth do you mean by strategy? Yes, it's setting a goal, but not just setting a goal, setting a plan, a route map, and get there. And then some people, they think about strategy all the time. But we've got to do something. And some people have excuses for not doing it, so yeah. You can save time. And we've done this. Like, we've got a project manager now who's really on the ball with organising things. We're putting projects through, even though they're going through more hands, they're more organised, and we're putting a much greater volume of work through, basically because we're organised. Who has a problem with clients not delivering content? Project management. It's great. Now, just a really simple example, knowing your audience is strategic. Who am I talking to? Well, I know you guys, most of you are web designers, I ask you, experienced or not, but choosing your audience. I mean, this whole presentation, I've tailored it to make sure that I'm going to talk about some real kind of full-on web stuff. Now, I wouldn't do that if it was a room full of entrepreneurs or business owners. So, some tips for web design. So really, in terms of building the website, what we want to do is make sure the website can convert. And I don't know if many people were here in October last year, but you can get these slides from me after this, but these slides are available on Carolyn King's SlideShare account, and basically this is an awesome presentation. I mean, this covers a lot of the ground that's in a book called Convert. I think the guy is Tom Hunt or something. It's a fantastic book, Ben Hunt. Awesome book, all talking about how to get your website to get people moving towards a conversion. And in terms of SEO, what you can do is keep websites fresh. You can make sure that the client can keep their website up to date. So for me, sort of as a marketing person, SEO, those two circles are the most important thing on the page, really. The way it looks is nice, yeah, but, I did engineering, so, you can tell by my slides, I guess. But really, keeping it up to date and interacting with the world, they're really important. And page speed. Now, I don't know how this is going to go when you've got to make your images 4 times the size, but using Google page speed is just, it's just a standard now. We do it all the time, and I would urge you to as well. It's really important that you use sprites. Leon mentioned that earlier. Is everybody aware of what sprites are, or do you want me to explain? No? Pardon? Yeah, so basically, let's say, for example, this website here, you've got these three graphics, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, down the side. Well, classically what you do is you just throw three different images to the browser. The browser loads the page, the HTML responds, the HTML says get these three images. Well, instead of actually serving up three images, all you do is serve up one image, and it's constrained. You just show the top bit, the middle bit, the bottom bit, but it's only one image that gets downloaded, and that means that although the image is bigger, you've only got that one request going backwards and forwards instead of three. I recently got our load time down from about 13 seconds, down to about 4.5. And in some cases our website will load within about 2 seconds, which is brilliant. And we've seen ranking improvements because of it. This is the absolute sin that web designers curse SEOs curse web designers up and down. Yeah. Changing websites without thinking about what you're doing. Don't do this. Don't do this. If you do this to your own website, that's very bad. If you do this to a client's website, yeah, be careful, because this can cause a lot of damage. And what I'm talking about here is an existing website. This is a very simple 3-page website, and a link points to that page, widgets.html. And those guys have been around for years, and maybe that website is, 5 years old. That link's always been there. Google knows that those are the 3 URLs, or ends of the URLs, and that link points at that page. Now, if you come along and you say, no, I know SEO, me, I'm going to rename it so it's got a keyword in there, Widgets Brisbane, brilliant, you'll rank better. But the link that points at that page just points nowhere now. So how about that? That's really annoying. Actually, if you were coming from that website and you clicked on it, you'd get a 404 error. You would get page not found. That's really bad. But what's worse is that Google follows that link on a regular basis to find out whether it's active or not. And they're going to find that it's a 404 error as well. And they're going to devalue that link. They're just going to say, well, we're not going to send people to that website anymore because, well, we don't want people clicking on 404 errors, do we? So you can fix this. You can put in a redirection. But the redirection is nowhere near as strong as just leaving the thing named what it should be. So tip number 3, don't change the URLs. Not unless you really, really have to. Any ideas how you would actually change the URL if you had to? No? Yep. No, Leon said you'd leave the page and then you'd link to it from the old page. No, that's a good idea, but no, because basically you want the link to point at the destination, minimum friction. So what you'd do is you contact the person that had that link in place, and you'd say, you'd link into the wrong page, please link to this new one. That's the only way to do it. But if you've got a popular website, it's a pain. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Some other tips about social media. There's some excellent markup that you can put in your websites. I don't know if you're aware of this, but like Facebook and Twitter have some excellent developer environments, loads of cool stuff that you can embed in your website. Some of it's responsible for that 13-second load time that I just told you about, and we cleaned it up quite effectively. But this stuff can make your website quite awesome when it comes to kind of sharing and linking up in social media. Now, okay, maybe the code's a bit small or a bit complicated, but you can get this when you download the slides. I don't know if you can see, but this one that the arrow is pointing to, you've got this OG, which stands for the Open Graph. So this second chunk of metadata, this is all about the Facebook's Open Graph. And those two images that are being defined, OG:image, they actually render like this. So when you hit share, you're specifically defining what image should show up. Now, we had a problem on our website. When somebody shared any of our URLs, they got the first image in the page. The best image on our website was the close icon for the pop-up. Yay! So anybody shared anything on our website, you've got a big pink square with a white cross in the middle of it. Excellent. So that's fixed now. Does that make sense? All those takeaways. So you can grab this after. Okay, so you set up. Now what? Because inbound marketing isn't just about getting set up. What you've got to do is actually get out there and publish. And really, it is about publishing. You are a publisher. And should you be publishing on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, or what should you be doing? Well, you need to go back to the plan. You need to think about what those objectives are, and you need to leave Leroy out of the whole thing. Just, you've got to think about it carefully. And I haven't really gone into it here at all, but what you need to do is do what marketing has done for a long, long time. We were talking just earlier about, what skills I'd value and so on. Marketing, good old-fashioned marketing. How do you profile your customers? Yeah, if you want to reach somebody who's running a family business, well, you want to reach families. Simple. But what sort of people? People with young kids, people with older kids, kids at school, kids at private school. Profile them. Give them a name. Do some research. But what you've got to do is you've got to find out what information is going to reach them and get in front of them and get them acting, getting them through to your website. Now these guys, SEO Moz, who ran the conference that I went to in July, fantastic. They've had this slide bumping around the internet for, I don't know, a year plus probably. And so this guy, the boss at SEO Moz, Rand Fishkin, he basically said this, and this hit me pretty hard, and I hope it will get across to you as well. So great answers to these following questions. This is what yields a great content marketing strategy. Well, content marketing, yet another one of these terms. Basically, you are doing marketing with your content. You're publishing stuff, content. And you've got to take what you're writing and you've got to do something with it. Just publishing things is not good enough. I met somebody just recently. The wife of the business owner is a copywriter. She publishes once every week, every fortnight, that sort of thing. Are they doing inbound marketing? No, they're not. They're publishing stuff and not telling anybody about it. It's not enough. You've got to blow your trumpet. So what experiences are going to get you an impact? These are the questions. And how are you going to get trust? And what's going to get you trust? And is it likable? Is it engaging? And how on earth are you going to measure it? There we go. Because if you're not measuring it, what on earth are you doing? You don't know whether it's working or not. And that's the thing. If I tell, well, who here has been told they ought to write a blog? Yeah, everybody. Oh yeah. Since like 2005. Yeah, you should write a blog. Yeah, I should write a blog. Yeah, how many blog posts have I done? Probably about a tenth of what I could have done. But the thing is, since early August, I've been measuring how many new inquiries, how many new visitors I get on my website based on traffic into blog/. Simple, easy to do in Google Analytics. How many new entrants into my website come in through the blog? And how many of those turn into conversions? So, let's say out of 8 blog posts, I've got 4 new leads. Okay, 8 blog posts took me 8 hours. 4 new leads, that's worth X dollars, 8 hours, is it worth it? Yes. But you can decide for yourself. And then blogging isn't then a burden. It's not like, oh, you should be blogging. No, well, I've got to do my blog because it's worth $500. If I don't do my blog, I'm wasting that opportunity. So, content marketing is a big part of what we're doing for inbound. And this is just a mock-up for an accounting firm here in Brisbane. I talked to the CPA. You know, they have a networking group. I went and talked to them last month. And I just mocked this one up for them. And I basically just made a whole load of assumptions. But we would drill down into this with a client. And you can do this. You can get in the client's head and you can work out how this goes. First of all, I'd be asking them about how on earth do you get your leads right now? Paying $100 per lead, $200 per lead, you know, you paid 30 grand to the Yellow Pages last year, 10 leads, brilliant, 3 grand a lead, or maybe more. But it really is like that. You work out, what are we competing against? And then in that context, writing 5 blog posts, publishing them, waiting to see what impact they have, that's competitive with just good old-fashioned advertising. Because this stuff's dying. Agree. So the goal, you just set, you know, like we talked about, what do you want to do? You want to acquire these kind of business owners, you want to reach these kind of people, and remember, we're talking about social media. Big part of this is social media. So you can't go up to somebody and say, oi, I want to talk to you, because you've got a whole load of people in between you. But if you're trying to reach owner-operators, well, might be stereotypical, but they're probably men between the ages of 40 and 50. They're family businesses. There's an even chance that they'll be married, maybe better than even. So you might want to get in touch with their family, and you might want to get in touch with people who've got kids, older kids, maybe at private school, so on, so on. So you can find opportunities to run either events, real-world stuff, sponsor things, talk about what you sponsor. I mean, if you had a client who sponsored a local soccer team or something, yeah, we sponsored the soccer team and they scored this week. Yeah, something to talk about on your Facebook page, something that's positive, family-friendly, and uncontroversial. So you decide what experience you want people to have, and you basically align that with what's going on. So this is inbound marketing. And it's, I mean, for me, I found it quite kind of eye-opening, really, because I've been dealing in the tactical level. You know, how do I get more links? How do I get more of this? How do I get people to the top? How do I get people from number 5 to number 4 to number 3 to 1? How do I get them ranking? This blows that stuff out of the water. Because while you've got somebody out there trying to do that, tactically going out building low-grade links, you come along and get an awesome link from a local paper, that's worth 300 of these crappy little links. Yeah. There's an awesome guy in the States, Will Reynolds, and he basically has an awesome picture, I should have put it up actually, of SEOs making the leap from crapola to real world stuff. And that's this. So, essentially our model for inbound marketing, we at Maden Solutions, we actually fold in online advertising as well, but there are arguments to say that inbound is not paid in any way, but yeah, we use it because it's a fantastic complement to getting people onto your website. You can use retargeting, where you put cookies on people's computers and keep advertising to them for some time to come, and it's brilliant. There's some smiles there. I think some people have been on shopping websites and keep seeing the adverts. So really, all of this stuff together and the underlying analytics and metrics through the whole thing can prove to you which channels are working best. Should really talk to Leon about making that look good. But really, the metrics are the key. So, thank you very much. I'm happy to answer questions, and you can get those slides there. Leon?
You talked about how you were tracking the effectiveness of your posts. Were you also tracking time between posts and seeing if you're posting more often, is that having an impact, or posting once a month?
No, I wasn't actually. No, but I could quite easily do a comparison. Leon asked, were we tracking whether the frequency and recency of posts had an impact on the number of visits, the number of inquiries, or conversions? No, not really. We haven't actually done that analysis. I guess we could. That would be pretty easy. From August, our pace picked up quite significantly. It's dropped off a little bit in September, but going back up again now. Really just to do with the volume of work that we got on. I guess one of the big things is that, when you measure the amount of new traffic entering the site, absolute brand new entrance into the site, and it's, into the /blog area, it's not that the conversion rate is particularly high, but those are conversions that you would never have got unless you did something. And that could be compared with history. But the cool thing is that when you write a blog post about something, there could be somebody interested. I wrote a blog post yesterday about the new disavow tool that Google has launched. And people are going to be Googling for that and looking for information on that for the next 6 months or a year or something. So we could get a whole heap of traffic out of that between now and when things die away or things get changed. At which point we just do another blog post. So it's actually, like you want to you just keep doing it really. Yeah. But that's a worthy analysis. I'll have a look at that. Yeah. Anybody else? So who's going to put that markup in their website? Yep. Cool. All right. That's good. Good to have a few. All right. Well, thanks very much.